Live from the legendary podcast bus in sunny California, it's America's funniest new podcast.
Oh my God, what did you get over?
Pretty happy about it. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
Good.
We think it's funny. And now, here are your hosts, Mark Schiff and Daniel Nobel.
Hello and welcome to season 6 of We Think It's Funny. I'm Daniel Nobel and I'm here with
Mark Schiff.
All right.
It is so good to be back, not only to do the podcast, more episodes, but to be in this magnificent, this thing that you've built here, this,
Thank
studio,
you. Yeah,
this
well,
bus
we
studio.
got it running finally, which is good.
Even Jay Leno looked at the engine and said, "There's nothing you can do with this."
Is that what he said?
Well, he said, at that point it was true because you needed money.
Right, yeah.
So there was nothing you could do with it.
You could fix it. You could. If you,
Yeah, you fix anything.
yeah.
But
You can put it in a whole new engine.
you really went above board fixing this thing because it cost a lot of money to fix it.
Yeah.
But that's how important. You got yourself a rolling podcast studio now.
Now we do.
Anywhere, any place, we will go to tape our podcast. And if you want to tape your own podcast, Danny will show up.
Thank you so much for the plug. Yeah, go to thepodcastbus.com and book it.
Book it, Dano.
Yeah. All right.
Did you, when they said book it, Dano, you know that saying?
No.
Oh, that's from Dragnet.
I never heard of that either.
You never heard of the show Dragnet?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Dragnet was one of the greatest shows in the 1920s. I don't believe you wouldn't know that.
Was it all in drag?
No. It was a cop show in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Brought it back on HBO, I think. They made a movie with it. I think Dan Aykroyd starred in it. It was a great show.
All right. Well, I never...
Sergeant Friday.
Sergeant Friday and Dan Aykroyd was Dano?
I don't know who he was. Okay. But anyway, good to see you.
Good to be seen.
Your wife is still with you.
Thank God.
Yeah, your children is still with you.
Thank God. Blaine her.
Yeah. And my family is still intact. My wife, we just got back from a tremendous trip.
I think that's so amazing. For somebody who, as much as a senior citizen as yourself, to get out of the house.
Yeah.
But
oh God, that was pain. Oh God, that was so painful.
No, but seriously,
that's right.
I think it's amazing that you and your wife, who have been together for a long time, still
30. We're going on 36 years.
Thank God, you guys have a beautiful marriage, and you get out and about, and you see the country, and you go on trips, and I think it's amazing.
And we come back together.
Yeah,
a lot of people go on these trips. These
and they don't come back.
Quote vacations,
right?
And one of them is found dead somewhere.
Or they just find that they can't stand each other and they come back and...
Well, we never go together on these trips.
Right.
She goes one way, I go another, and then we meet up a month later.
So where did you go? You went to Maine?
We went to New York City to see the son, daughter-in-law, Chloe, Noah, and Stella the baby. Then we went to our friends the Schlesingers, had a wedding in upstate New York in the Catskill Mountains. We went to that. Then we met up with the Seamus family, who we travel with.
Before we move on, how is the Catskill Mountains nowadays? What's that like?
Catskill Mountains, absolutely spectacular mountains. All the names up there are Indian tribes that were wiped out, but at least they left the name of the tribe.
No longer running wolf.
No running water. Beautiful up there, and they had this beautiful wedding, the Schlesinger family, and just this gorgeous farm setting. It was spectacular.
Do they still have massive resorts in the Catskills like they had back in the old days?
So the Catskills, some areas are so Jewish, the signs are in Yiddish,
really,
and Hebrew along the sides of the road. It's filled with Hasidim, and the problem is when they're walking at night on the road, you can't see them because they're Hasidim. And they're dressed in black, and there's no lights on the road.
Can't see them, and Hasidim sounds a lot similar. You can't see them. That's like someone who can't pronounce Hasidim. Can't see them?
Yeah. Can't see them at most restaurants.
Right.
Because Hasidim won't be seated at Hasidim.
That's interesting to me, because like the Catskills Mountains were a very secular Jewish destination, and then now they're a religious Jewish destination.
Right. What it was the wives would go up when I was working in a camp there. The wives would go up during the week, and the husbands would follow up later in the week.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the husbands would be up there for if they kept Shabbos or for the weekend. I just wrote about this. My parents were not rich; they were poor. The line I had was on a 30-rung ladder. They were on like the first rung.
Right. I read your article. Yeah, it was good.
And my parents sent me to. They were Reformed Jews,
Mm-hmm.
and they spent money to send me to Jewish day camp and sleepaway camp, and 3 years of Orthodox yeshiva. Even though they didn't bend that way, that wasn't their thing.
Yeah.
But they wanted to keep me Jewish.
And it paid off.
Yeah.
Look at you now.
Look at me now.
And you've got Jewish grandchildren.
Jewish grandchildren.
And they have Jewish great-grandchildren.
Yeah, and, my wife is Jewish until I find out different.
Right.
But she is, her parents.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all good. And my parents, and I wish they were here to see, neither one of them really lived long enough to see my family and what it turned into. And you're lucky, you're blessed, you have your parents.
Thank God, yeah.
Yeah. So, and they see the beautiful family you have.
Bli Ein Hara, yeah. Yep. I said Bli Ein Hara. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, I do, but I can't remember now. I do.
It means without evil eye.
Without evil eye, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Yetzirah.
Yeah, we don't want to cast an evil eye on things. Sometimes when people start talking about their blessings, there's certainly within Sephardic Judaism a concept of like you might be casting an evil eye on it. So we
Jews
say
are like that with everything.
like,
I hear you're in a good living. Please, I don't want to. I don't want to spoil it. I want to bring it back. Everything. They're always worried about the shoe dropping.
Yeah, but I don't think Ashkenazi Jews care much about the evil eye as much as Sephardic Jews, right? Like.
It's not something my grandfather did. He would go, puh. When I would say something.
He didn't just have a condition?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. He was diagnosed with puh.
Yeah.
He would, when I would say something that he didn't want to hear, or there was, he was afraid, puh, which means please don't do that.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of eye talk within Sephardic Judaism.
Right.
Looking at things with the good eye or looking at things with an evil eye. And I was just listening to something about this week and how important it is that we look at each other with a good eye. And when you look at somebody with the good eye, you don't see any fault in them. You can't see anything bad about them. You just see all the good. And if you see anything bad, you kind of make excuses for it. You go, yeah, whatever, that's... Yeah, he has that little flaw, but it's not a big deal, Right. And if you look at this people with the bad eye, all you see are the flaws, and you can't even see the good. You're like, that guy's just such a monster or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you forget that this person has a lot of beauty to them. They have a lot of good things about them, and that can get lost. So it's so important, especially now. I feel like there's so much animosity. I think it's because of social media, but there's so much animosity towards people. You go online, it's toxic. Toxic. Do you see this? Like, I mean,
100%.
Of course you see. You look at the comments people leave on your Facebook sometimes.
And that's from my family.
That's right.
It's unbelievable.
The people
nasty
who like you the most.
Things that my children and my 3-year-old granddaughter called me the most vicious name the other day.
So you'll post up your political views or beliefs that are sometimes controversial to people who don't agree. I usually do agree with them.
Controversial these days are Jews are good people.
And controversial is a beautiful blonde girl wearing jeans nowadays. That's
But I switch back and forth. Today I posted Jerry Lewis talking about Stan Laurel from Laurel and Hardy and what a genius comedian he was, and how Stan Laurel helped Jerry Lewis when Jerry was filming The Bellboy. Yeah. Stan told him to take out certain scenes, and he did. That was one. Then the next one I posted was of the poor hostage digging his own grave. Okay. In
I
Gaza.
posted that as well.
So I go back and forth.
But yeah, I'm not talking about that. But sometimes you'll post up political views that people don't agree with.
Don't agree.
And then you get the nastiest comments from your supposed friends on there. And I wonder, like, does it make you feel bad ever? Do you ever take it to heart? Do you ever question, maybe I shouldn't post this? I don't want to post this. Why? Or what is how do you process that whole thing.
So sometimes I go, I just should just stop posting because it's. Where am I getting with this?
Mm-hmm. That's what I do. I don't post.
Yeah, who am I moving with this? Who am I changing? I'm not changing anything. And then on the other hand, if I don't, who will?
Right. If I'm not for myself, then who is for me?
Yeah, I mean, I have strong beliefs about the Jewish people, about Israel, about, these things. I go, if I'm not doing it, if nobody does it, then they've completely won.
Yeah, then they silenced you.
Yeah. What I don't like about it is when I feel myself toxic with anger.
Mm-hmm. And that happens?
Yeah. Like today, I read some stuff and I could feel my blood boiling. And I think it's, Mark, maybe it's no good for your health. Maybe you're going to have a heart attack over this thing.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Got to be careful. So, but I don't care. I just, where I don't think I should do it is answer back to these people.
Mm-hmm.
Let
them put their opinion out there.
And I never take anybody down. If they curse, like really filthy and say nasty things to me, like, you're effing idiot, or I'll say, listen, why don't you clean up the language a little? You say what you want, but find a better way to say it.
Yeah, it's so interesting now. And like we got into this by me saying like how vicious it is online now. It's just like so much vitriol out there. And I get depressed, just as a Jewish person. I go online and I see what they're saying about Jews, and it honestly really depresses me. It makes me so sad to feel so hated and so misunderstood by people.
Yep.
And in a way, it's sort of the story of the Jewish people. It's always been this way, and it was only not this way for a short amount of time historically. And I think my generation got used to that.
Mine too.
So like,
yeah, mine too. We had it good. I went to public school. There was never a word about, being a Jew, this or that. This is now the worst time for Jews since the Holocaust.
Yeah, and I knew it was going to come around again. It says in every generation they'll rise up against you. And my grandma, who survived the Holocaust, may she rest in peace, she always said, this isn't over. She said, she always warned me, it's going to come back. It's a virus. It will come back. And so I never grew up with delusions that it's always going to be good. I hear a lot of people say that now on interviews and stuff, Jewish people saying, oh, I thought the Holocaust, it was over. I didn't think that. And I also don't think that the Holocaust education stuff was ever helpful. I thought, and people used to get upset with me about that. But I was thinking, you can't shame people into liking Jews by showing them, a lot of Holocaust stuff. They don't care. They're watching it and they're like, yeah, okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
Why are you showing me this?
A lot of them feel we deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting. The sad part of it, and see, a lot of the Jews, the religious ones, they're waiting for Mashiach, the
Messiah,
to come.
Yeah.
Does he come in on a donkey?
He might.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he comes in. So,
but that might be the name of like an electric car in a few years.
Yeah.
Too,
So this is an interesting thing because nothing the world the world will not be a safe place for the Jews until the Messiah comes. So we're really hanging in a balance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a terrible burden to carry because this guy, they say, even if it comes in 800 years, that's soon, according to this type of, it could be tomorrow.
Yeah.
But time is not an issue to the
Messiah.
And God works a little slow for my tastes.
For your tastes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he waited a little long to end the Holocaust.
Mm-hmm. Well,
those are things that we can't get the answer to in this life. That's how the rabbis get out of everything. In this life, I can't give you the answer to that. You'll have to wait until you see your maker, and he'll tell you that, and why we have a mosquito. Those are the two things. Everyone wants to know why there's a mosquito. Yeah,
I feel like the conversation is going to be one-sided the other way, where it's mostly going to be me having to answer for stuff, not God. But
I saw a show on where is it on? HBO Max. Just finished it this morning on the treadmill.
Uh-huh.
It's called Shark Whisperer.
Okay.
And it's about this woman who swims with great white sharks, 18-foot sharks.
What's so great about him?
Yeah. So that's a good question. I think the greatness is their size.
Okay.
All
right.
She swims with them. They haven't eaten her alive. They kind of just think she's somehow one of them. I don't know how she pulls this off, but there's great footage. So my point is, one guy was surfing. They have an interview with him, and a great white came up behind him and bit 3 of his fingers off and then his leg. And he's on the surfboard, and somehow he lives. He doesn't bleed out. Another surfer sees what's happening, actually swims towards him with the great white biting off his leg. This is a true hero. Then he gets on the surfboard. Puts him on his surfboard, and they go in. They save his life.
Wow.
So the guy, they interview him. The guy with the missing the leg and the fingers. He talks about how lucky he is, but he never once said, "Thank God." It's an interesting sort of thing that when I never said, I want to thank God because it wasn't for my maker or something. He just thought that he was just lucky, and maybe he was. Maybe. We don't know 100%. I tend to believe, you tend to believe, but
right.
I couldn't. If someone bit off my leg, I would just be saying thank God. I think for at least 2 years.
You want me to just take it off for you right now?
Just to prove you're wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You'd be the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I
mean, you say it when you find a toothpick in a restaurant because you got a piece of meat in your tooth, and you go, "Thank God I found this toothpick."
I talk to God so much, I think he's annoyed with me. I think he's like, all right, enough. There's
Enough
other people. I'm trying to hear someone else right now.
Yeah.
Tone it down.
Yeah, I got the lepers to worry about. You with the, So this is all good, and it's good to be back here on season 6.
Yeah, season 6, and our guest is here. And let's bring him in.
Okay.
Shall we? All right. We're back, baby.
Yeah, season 6.
We're back, season 6.
Unbelievable.
And our guest is here, Mario Adrion.
Adrion. I'm just kidding. You can say however, but we're in America now, so it's Adrion here.
Adrion.
Yeah. It's French, but, we're in the United States of America.
You're a German fellow with a French name?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the French too much, but it's just how it is.
Okay.
I don't like him either.
Yeah, nobody does. It's beautiful. I make a lot of jokes about French people in my stand-up comedy, and it seems to unite people, no matter where I go.
You make friends off of hating on France.
Yeah, the room comes together when you have a common enemy. So making fun of the French, it's also not racist to talk negatively about them.
Right.
Because they're
Fair
white
game. Yeah.
and nobody likes them, so it's beautiful. Yeah.
I've been to France a few times. I rented a car in France, and then I drove through the French Alps and then the Italian Alps. Mm-hmm. It was incredible. And Swiss Alps. I went through all those. But France it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. But I went over to what's the policeman? No. Whoever it is, a cop there.
Yeah.
And I didn't speak French. I'm sorry. I said, pardon, monsieur, do you have the Eiffel Tower?
Le Eiffel Tower, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple. Looks at me like he's never heard of
oh my
this.
God.
This is a cop. He would not answer the question.
You got to pronounce it perfectly. And even then they have an attitude. They're like, putain, it is called Eiffel Tower.
I did a stand-up in France once at this place, Le Comédie Club Jamel. And there's I wanted to perform for a French audience, but I don't speak French. So there was a comedian who was like a doppelganger of me. He was the Muslim version of me. I'm the Jewish version of him. His name was Wahid. You can see this on YouTube if you type in Daniel LaBelle live in Paris. So we both dressed the same, and we went on stage, and I would do my joke, and then he would do it in French, and it would get a big laugh when he did it. And then people said to me that they understood the English, but they were waiting for the French version to laugh.
Oh, God.
Danny LaBelle live in Paris sounds very arrogant, really. You know, it's like Ella Fitzgerald live in Paris.
Right.
Frank Sinatra live in Paris. Danny LaBelle, it's a 3-minute routine.
The sad ending to that is that Wahid died because of health problems. And when I found that out, it totally freaked me out because he looked exactly like me. If this was a Woody Allen joke, you'd be like, he was hit by a bus, it turns out.
Yeah.
Remember Eggs Benedict?
Yeah.
But no, it did freak me out. It did make me work on my health.
Yeah, and you've done a good job.
Yeah, I'm in perfect shape.
Yeah,
now. I'm ready to start modeling underwear
Let's
like
go.
our guest.
I have some contacts. Yeah. I
Yeah, I
can
wanna-
hook you up with my old agent.
I know you've talked about it, but I want to talk about the underwear thing.
Let's talk about the underwear. Yeah,
So
I love it. French and underwear is my thing.
Let's
Yeah.
fill in the audience that you used to be a model and you did
Yeah.
underwear modeling and you did it on America's Got Talent or one
Well,
of
yeah.
those.
So, I was an American Idol in a Speedo.
Right.
Yeah.
That was like a little, when
Katy
I already
Perry?
did a catwalk with Katy Perry in my Speedo. That was like more of a comedy gag, I guess.
Right.
But I was
you
wearing
were
a
an
Speedo.
actual legit model before that.
I used to be a model, yeah. That's how I came to America.
Did
I
you
was-
rehearse that on American Idol?
No, this is fully
Because they all got up and
improvised.
started walking with you, and then you did a handstand and walked
fully
backwards.
improvised.
It's very cool.
Because most of the people who go on this show, American Idol, they don't get aired. Like I met
Right.
so many people there, and I wasn't aware of this before because I never watched the show really. But I met so many people there, and most of them had a performance in front of the judges, and it never made TV because it's just
Wow.
not as memorable. Or they want either something funny, or somebody that's really good, or something really heartfelt and emotional. So I guess I was definitely not a good singer, but I did like a catwalk with Katy Perry.
Yeah, and the singing was
In a
okay,
Speedo.
but you covered yourself with your,
Yeah.
everything else you were doing. By the
Yeah.
way, my son used to work on game shows.
Okay.
And if you win, let's say, a car in a game show, and that episode isn't aired, you don't get the car.
Really?
That's what he told me.
Wow.
But I'll tell you this, I was on a game show.
No gift if it's not aired.
I was on Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady as a contestant.
Right.
And I won the big prize of the episode. You know, the room.
Really?
I won the entertainment room. And it was like, what, you want this?
Yeah.
You know, one of the rooms is like Zonk.
Yeah.
And you don't get anything in
Yeah.
another room. So the biggest prize to win that day, I won, which was an entertainment room with a air hockey table and some other kind of table. I don't remember what it was. Maybe a pool table or something like that. And electric dartboard and a massive 80-inch screen TV. But I got also a lot of laughs. I didn't go on as a comedian. I went on as a person, you know, from the audience. But they picked me because I was in Second City at the time and they were trying to get entertaining guests.
Sure.
But they said, don't say you're a comedian. So just say you're like a regular person and then be funny. I was very funny. In fact, I'm not just saying that. Everybody who was with me said, I don't think the people involved in the show liked how much you killed.
Right.
I said, why? Why wouldn't they like that? They wanted me because I'm funny. They're like, I think you may have upstaged some people.
You served like Wayne and everybody. Yeah.
I'm not saying I did. That's what people who came with me said.
Sure.
And I said, I don't think that's an issue. They cut me out of the episode. Wow. They still sent me the prizes. And the episode was a completely boring episode without me because nobody wins. But I was I had a watch party. I had all my friends over when it was supposed to air.
Oh no!
And they didn't tell you?
And they didn't tell me, and I
that's
was
the
completely
saddest thing.
cut out of the episode.
No.
And I said to my friend who said that, I said, maybe you're right. Maybe they didn't like that.
So I'll tell you, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying the watch part is the saddest part about
Yeah,
this.
that's
Like
the
just
saddest
picturing you being excited, all your friends are there, and then
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get that's brutal.
But I did get the prizes, and I still have the TV. I sold the tables, and the dartboard's in the garage. I've never used it.
I've seen that TV.
Yeah.
Beauty.
I have that massive TV.
So I had a friend when we were 14 years old. We entered this contest at our local synagogue, and the prize was a bicycle. It was first prize, you get a bicycle. So we're there for the drawing of the thing, and the guy puts his hand in and takes out, and he reads my friend's name, Ricky Durier. They go, Ricky Durier, is there Ricky here? And you had to be there to get the prize. So Ricky, So he comes up, and the guy looks at him and goes, how old are you? And Ricky goes, 14. He goes, can't give it to you. You got to be 16 or over to get the prize. Oh, it was the saddest day in his life. This beautiful bicycle, and they wouldn't give it to him. What is wrong with people?
That's tough. And they should have, someone could have signed for it, right?
Yeah, could have, but they didn't. And
they
weren't.
give people guns at Walmart when you're 14, but you don't. You get a bicycle at a raffle.
So let's talk underwear for a minute because we all
I
wear
know
it.
you want to get to the underwear thing.
Yeah.
We'll get it. Yeah.
Mark is fascinated by
No,
that.
we all wear it, and it's the thing. So I had an experience. By the way, I've seen the little videos of you and stuff, and I'm married, so I'm not hitting on you.
Good.
But I would if I could. So I'm 18. I'm in Germany, I'm staying in a hotel, and they had a sauna room downstairs in the hotel. So I go down there, and I take off my clothes, and I put them in a locker or whatever, and then I have the towel, and I take the towel, and I walk in naked, and there's like 6 or 8 naked women in there, completely naked. And I go, because I think I'm in the wrong, thing. And they go,
Sure.
No. They tell me, sit, you're okay because we do this together here. So not one woman asked for my phone number at the end of when I left. And I just imagine, I don't know if you would have the same thing happen to you.
Well, to me, the opposite thing happened because I'm used to nudity in a way that we go to the sauna and we don't make it weird, right? I think in America, that's such an unthinkable thing that like men and women share a sauna together
here
naked.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in America, women are always seen as like some sort of sexual object. In Germany, we see them just as objects. Not even sexual, just like they're just
just an object. Just like a vase on the on
like
shelf.
literally like that. We don't make it weird, So I was used to that growing up in Germany my whole life. I lived in Germany like 20 years of my life, right? And then I came to America. I remember going to YMCA in New York. I first moved to New York when I started modeling. Went to YMCA, and I went in there and I was naked as the Lord intended. And then there was a dude coming in with like a New York Knicks basketball shirt and shorts and socks, and he was in the sauna with clothing, and he looked at me and he acted like I'm the weirdo in this scenario because I'm naked in America, and he's wearing like a New York Knicks jersey. Nothing against the Knicks, just like the fact that he's wearing clothing in the sauna. It's just culturally such a it really blew my mind because America is so into sex when it comes to movies, TV, music videos, right? Everything's hypersexualized, but then when it actually comes to nudity, Americans are quite prude, which surprised me when I first came here.
Yeah, absolutely true. I have, by the way, one of the a great Speedo joke. You may have heard it, may not. So this guy says to his friend, he goes, I can't seem to meet women. No matter what I do, the guy goes, this is what you do, Bob. Get yourself a Speedo, put it on, get a really large russet potato, and put it in the Speedo, and then go to the beach and walk up and down. You tell me what happens. So a week later, the guy comes back. His friend said, how'd it go? He goes, terrible. I did what he said. I got the Speedo. I put the potato in. I walk up down. Not a word from anybody. Guy says, Bob, let me see what you did. So Bob goes in, changes, comes back out. The guy goes, in the front, Bob. Put the potato in the front.
I thought it was going to get you a lot of attention from gay men rather than...
Isn't that a good Speedo joke? Isn't that a good...
that's good.
It's a killer joke.
Because we did
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. Do you remember that? Ace Ventura?
No.
I don't.
No, okay.
I remember the movie, Jim Carrey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the reference would have worked great if you guys knew it, but...
I'm sure some people know it. Comment if you knew it.
Okay.
No, but that's actually a good point. What are you saying with the potato? It's no joke. When I did underwear modeling, there's a thing called a bulge cup. Okay? So when you do underwear modeling, you want to have somewhat of a bulge for the underwear catalog, whether it's in, Target or whatever it is, right? And sometimes it's hard to maintain that.
I like the way you take your hands and put it in that area because we don't know what area you're talking about.
I know. I just want to make sure.
the groinal area.
I'm trying to be family friendly, right? Exactly. So there's a bulge enhancing tool. It's a little cup. It's almost like a push-up bra, and it has a little imprint. Okay, so you put it in, and then you don't have to worry about fluffing or fighting against the American AC that makes it very hard to unshrivel.
Nothing's authentic.
Nothing is real. Because they want it also not to be too aggressive. So it's just like this kind of bulge that gives you a little bit of a lift, and then you feel more confident on set. And we use that a lot, and I want to come on here to raise awareness for male body issues too, because women wear push-up bras, nobody blinks an eye.
But
blink. When men wear bulge enhancing,
they blink.
People blink.
There's blinking.
Blink
a lot of blinking.
So much blinking.
A lot of blinking.
So you grew up in what part of Germany?
It's called Alpisbach im Hochschwarzwald.
Really?
Auschwitz. Is that close?
Not
no.
It's close to Zurich.
Oh, I see.
Switzerland, the good part of Germany.
I actually
Southwest.
didn't mean the Auschwitz. I mean Auschwitz or something.
I know. When you said it sounded like Auschwitz.
I know.
Alpirsbach.
Okay.
Im Hochschwarzwald.
What does that mean in English?
So Alpirsbach means creek. Alpir doesn't. It's just a name. And then im Hochschwarzwald means in the northern part of the Black Forest.
Okay.
Because I'm from a part called the Black Forest, where there's all the fairy tales. The Grimm brothers fairy tales come from there.
Okay.
And it's just very small town vibes. No real big cities you'd know. The closest one would be Zurich, Switzerland.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up there in a very town of like a couple thousand people.
Why is it called the Black Forest?
Because all the pine trees are black. There's no Laubbäume. You know Laubbaum? A Laubbaum.
No, I don't know what that is.
A Laubbaum is not a pine tree. Like there's not every tree is a pine tree, so from afar it looks like it's a black forest.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fairy cuckoo clocks are from there, black forest ham, all that stuff.
You guys have a very special kind of garlic that only grows there. In
Yellow.
Yeah. And you can't get it anywhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't get it here?
No. It's only there.
Can you hook you up?
And you know how I know?
No.
When I was in Austria, I had this amazing soup. And I said, "What's in this soup? I'd love to recreate this soup." So they brought the chef. The chef was this German guy. They brought the chef out. And he told me about that garlic. And he's like, "You cannot make the soup. The only place to get the soup is near Switzerland in Germany. This garlic grows." Yeah. So he goes,
superior German garlic.
and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that this guy came out 3 times to show me the different ways how he makes the soup. Like, I think maybe this is a German thing, but like, Americans are not gonna. They'll under-explain. Germans, I think, will over-explain.
Oh yeah.
Right?
No, Germans are almost in that sense a little autistic when they just really there's a fact or something
Right.
about like cars or anything like that. They really break it down for you.
Exactly.
We go deep
It
with
was
that
like
stuff.
pretty
Yeah, yeah.
autistic. He
Yeah.
came out. I'm not exaggerating. It was over an hour of explanation, and it got so ridiculous. I filmed it. I have it
Really?
on my iPhone. Maybe I'll drop a little bit of it into this episode because I'm like, no one's gonna believe this. It's just going on and on. And he's like, "Okay, so then what you want to do for the soup is you get the I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, "Hold on." And he like go to the kitchen and bring it. I'm like, "Okay, I don't know what that product is in America." And then you blend it, but then you have to take the garlic, comes from Germany near Switzerland, and it's only there you can get this kind of a green garlic, and go put it into the freezer and stay in the freezer because we cannot get it out of season otherwise. And then you have to defrost it. Takes a little time to defrost this, and then put in the blender. You want to get it completely smooth, and then you go put in the Achenfleischstruch into it. I'm like, "What is that?" He's like, "Hold on." He goes to the kitchen and he comes back.
How do you like his little accent?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah?
Because you know what most people do when they do a German accent, they do like a Russian accent. But yours is pretty German.
Thank you.
I think you got to make it sound a little more gay. That's like more realistic. Because Germans are a little gay. You know, exactly. A little bit more pep, like a little bit more pep.
A little pep in the Reitenfunst.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Little childhood about this town you grew up in. You know, it sounds pretty idyllic. You know, your
Yeah.
parents got divorced at 5.
Yeah. Oh, you did
They
your
weren't
research.
5. You were 5.
I was 5. They were not 5.
Yeah.
They never married, but yeah, no, they broke up.
They never married.
No.
So they had you.
They just met in a steam room, and they were
They
like,
just exactly
"You look
met in
good.
the
You look
sauna.
good."
My dad was walking the beach with the potato in the speedo, and then there
Must have been at the front.
Exactly.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
No.
No, okay, so only child?
Only child.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So-
Let's go. No, it was a very idyllic childhood. It's just like there's so many pros and cons. And I always thought about this. I was like, oh, what if I'd grown up in New York City or a place that would have exposed me to, say, the arts or something like that a little sooner? Because when I grew up, there was only lumberjacking. So I, after school, would go with my uncles and we do like work in the woods. Because all my uncles, they own a lot of forests and land. So we like literally chop wood. Even with my mom is a very crafty person. She's an alpha mom. Okay,
Yeah.
German alpha mom. So that was my childhood. There was no.
She raised you?
She. I mean, both of them. They're very good friends. Germans are very non-confrontational. There's not a lot of drama. They just broke up, but there's not like this big fight or anything or
They
custody
stayed in the same
battles.
town?
Same town, yeah, or like 5 minutes apart. And I would see my dad all the time. They spent Christmas together. I always was very proud of my parents for really just having such a amicable breakup. And
Yeah.
throughout the whole process, I never saw them fight ever, not once.
That is fantastic because a lot of people can't say that and
Yeah,
kill the kids.
yeah.
No, I mean, emotionally, it could be,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So did your parents ever remarry?
My mom did.
It wouldn't be a remarriage.
Wouldn't be
just-
a-
it would
Yeah.
just be a
Your mom
first-
married?
Yeah. My dad, no. My dad's just a lonely cowboy. My dad, people say he's very attractive. He's the sweetest guy in the world. But he just, he
Right.
just likes his trees.
Right.
He just
He's
hangs out.
still out there jacking it.
He's still out there shaking the trees.
Lumberjacking it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, we always my uncle has a Christmas tree farm, so we'd always work there during the summer, like winter holidays, and then I would also work in a local brewery. There's a famous beer brew. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's called Eibisbacher Klosterbräu.
Had one 40 years ago.
So that's like a local brewery, and I would work there after school, and I would throw away the old beer if it was mislabeled or expired. I had to throw it away. I would do that for 8 hours every day.
Wow.
And that was my life.
Mislabeled?
Well, sometimes they're very specific. In Germany, by the way, they're the most. I mean, they're Nazis about the beer in a way, because they're like, if there's anything, because it's the most pure thing they have. I mean, there's a purity law.
Beer,
exactly.
Yeah.
Germans like pure.
They like pure. Yes, everything pure. They have purity law from I was going to say 1933. No, 1533, like way back in the Middle Ages when the monks would make the beer. They have a German purity law, which means beer can only have 3 ingredients: water, hops, and malt, or whatever it is, or yeast. And to this day, you can't put anything else in there. Whereas in America, a lot of beer, they put other stuff in there, like a lot of processed stuff. So that's why the quality's so high. But they're if there's anything that goes wrong with the batch, they have to throw it all away.
Heineken is not a German beer.
No, and Germans will get very angry
right, that's
when
what
you
I know. Is there a war
imply
between,
that.
Was it Dutch, Holland?
Yeah, but Heineken that's a brewery that's just so big now that and I'm very passionate about this because my best man for the wedding also, he owns that brewery in Germany. And Heineken, they're so commercial now. They just like what they make. They don't make beer. They make beer concentrate and then add water to it. Same with Bud Light, Budweiser, like Coors Light, all this stuff.
It's almost like whiskey. Whiskey is basically beer concentrate.
Beer concentrate?
Yeah, beer concentrate is whiskey. Whiskey is like beer boiled down to its most concentrated form.
Scotch is...
That's what Scotch is. Scotch starts out as beer, and then it's refined distilled, until it's just Scotch.
Okay, well... I guess there's probably a step in between. I don't think when you add water to Scotch, it turns into Coors Light, but it tastes like it. So, I worked there, very protected childhood, and then
what did you do in the brewery?
I was just like helping out. I was 16 at the time, and then I studied.
See, here they wouldn't let you work in a brewery at 16.
They would not?
No.
Okay.
A brewery?
Well, I was not brewing the beer. I was not in the lab, but I was like...
They wouldn't even let you in, I don't think.
Really? Child labor is not. I think it's so important.
I think
as
you
a
had
kid
to be like 21 to drink.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah. No, in Germany you can drink when you're 16.
You got to be 21 to drink and 18 to kill somebody.
Yeah.
So it's
solid. No, that makes sense. It's crazy that you can drive earlier than that, because in Germany we learn how to drink first and then we drive later. So yeah.
So that way
I used to do a joke. I did it on Tonight Show about I was in Germany. I rented a German car. I was on the Autobahn. You have to go so fast. The stick shift went 1, 2, 3, Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Actually, did it very well.
That's a good joke.
I missed.
Well, I really punched
that.
up Yahoo.
Yahoo. Yeah, I missed the Autobahn. It's just you can go no speed limit, and then I come here. It took me I just took an Uber from my place in West Hollywood. It took me like 25 minutes to get here. In 25 minutes in Germany, I would have gone like 100 kilometers, It's it's insane.
What kind of work did your mom do?
She is a lumberjack.
Really?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, she does like Christmas wreaths. You know the Christmas wreaths?
Yeah.
It's like a I guess Christian thing, but you make the Christmas wreaths, and then so she would go to the woods.
Right.
She would make me. Here's what she would do. When I was a kid, my mom would make me steal bushes. Okay, so
what kind of bushes?
I have it's called books. It's like a little decorative thing you add to the wreath. So at night we go out to the local park, like a city or like 2 cities, like 10 minutes away, and I put on a headlamp, and in the middle of the night, not middle of the night, but when it got dark at 10 p.m., she would send me out. I was like 11, 12 years old, and she was like, Mario, cut those bushes, steal them from the public park. Because if I got caught, it wouldn't be as big of a deal because I'm just a kid. So, I have a friend. His mom was a drug addict. She would send him to buy drugs for her in Tijuana.
Yeah.
And for me, it was the same. It was just bushes.
Yeah.
So similar idea. That's like the Black Forest version. Of
So you'd be coming home and
organized
like,
crime. Yeah.
Mother, I've gathered these bushes for
Exactly.
you. Excellent job, son. I will start crafting. And then
Exactly.
starts twisting them together and singing Edelweiss.
And then she would
something.
sing him she would sell them on the black market. Similar idea. Bushes.
So what did she make? Wreaths for Christmas?
Do you know there's a tradition in Germany for Christmas where you light a candle on each week leading up to Christmas. So on the first week of Christmas you light one candle, and then when the fourth candle is lit, it's Christmas week.
Right. Okay.
So it's like a thing. It's almost like a count. It's more like a count up because you light more and more candles. So it's every German has it. It's a thing. So I've never
Christmas
seen
is
it here.
different in Germany, much different. I don't think they don't even call it Christmas, right? They have a different name for it.
Weihnachten.
And like Christmas is very different in Europe. Like I was in Holland for I did the Den Haag Comedy Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Like Haag, I don't remember what it's
Den
called.
Haag. By the way, Dutch is more messed up as of a language than German is.
Yeah,
but nobody talks about because they have a better history than us.
So I'm on the train there on the way to
Not
this
for
gig,
long, by the way.
Yeah,
and I
Not for
see
long.
it's like Christmas time, and there's a newspaper article that the big controversy at the time in Holland was that they have a very racist Christmas character that was like, people were saying maybe we should abolish this Christmas character. Like, it's super racist.
Where is that?
In Holland.
Right. Okay.
There's like Santa's helper is like a black-faced person.
Oh yeah, Knecht Ruprecht.
Yeah.
Knecht Ruprecht.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a thing.
Yeah.
But the story about Knecht Ruprecht is also, as far as I'm concerned, at least in Germany, maybe it's different in Holland. Knecht Ruprecht is essentially Santa's evil friend. And in America, it's like, okay, if you behave well, then Santa's going to give you a gift. In Germany, that's the same thing. But on the flip side, if you do not behave well, not only do you not get a gift, no, you will get punished by Knecht Ruprecht. So
Every time you say this.
so Santa.
Me too. It's beautiful to hear you say that.
Can you say it, Mark?
No, I can't even remember it. Kurt Ruprecht.
Knecht Ruprecht?
That's good. Yeah. A little bit more anger, a little bit more gay, and then that's right. So Knecht Ruprecht, he then punishes the kids.
Who punched him?
Knecht Ruprecht, just get it right. So then Knecht Ruprecht comes and punishes the little kids by like some people say he pulls them into a
Oven?
Not oven. No, we're past that.
Okay.
A microwave.
Exactly. New age. No, it's like a barn.
You
and
could probably do that joke in your act.
Possibly, Yeah.
I mean, I've seen what you do, and that might work.
By the way,
I think it would. Yeah.
I want to hear more about this, but I'm just going to take a quick pause because it's a perfect leading. Do you know that the reason I booked Mario, the reason I know about him was like organically he came up on my Instagram like feed. When you see a million comedians you've never heard of, and they just pop up and you give them like a few seconds and then you keep going. So he started doing, I don't remember what the joke was, but I'm like, oh, this is really good. And then I'm like, that was really good. So I clicked on his thing and I just started watching him. This is like over a year ago.
Oh.
And when this show had just started, and I, just one of the first guests I tried to book him, I messaged him through like Instagram or something, but I'm sure it got lost because you probably get a lot of messages on Instagram. But I authentically found him for his talent. Like, he's so funny, and
Agreed.
I really encourage everybody to check out your stuff.
But I want to know why did you not ever hear of him? Why didn't you cross our feed? We work different places.
Yeah.
Right?
Why do we cross our feed?
I don't hear everybody,
Huh?
There's a
Same
million
here
people
with
I haven't
me.
heard of, yeah.
Same here with me.
Yeah. I just didn't, the message you mean? I just didn't see it.
No, he's like, why wasn't I aware of who you were when I saw your clip?
Why weren't we more aware of? Because you have
that's
such
what you mean.
You have such a presence on the internet and the things.
Yeah. But I'm still relatively new to stand-up. I started stand-up like 4 years ago.
That is relatively new.
Yeah, so I'm not like I've not been in the stand-up scene for as long.
I'm shocked to hear that you've only been doing it for 4 years. You're really, really good, man.
Thank you.
We just did a show together at the Laugh Factory, and you killed it, man.
Thank you.
Funny.
That was a fun show. Yeah.
I mean, you see a million comedians you've never heard of on social
Absolutely.
media, and they're usually
But not with the
very
presence
good,
that he has.
Yeah, But I'm saying I didn't know about his presence.
Well, I don't
didn't know
like
any of
that. I want you to be more aware of people.
All right, thank you. Okay.
the hell is the matter with you?
But every now and then I come across somebody who's like, I'm like, oh, this person's genuinely really funny and talented.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I reach out to them. So,
well, what I was, and I went through your videos too, and I saw the one in Israel. Where you're talking to the crowd there, and there's a lot of Jewish material about Jews in there.
Well, listen, my wife is Jewish, and
Ay, Gewalt.
Gewalt.
What does Gewalt mean in German?
Gewalt means violence in German. Yeah, it's always so funny when I hear some of these Yiddish words because I'm like, yo, this is so funny because how it's used differently in a different context. Yeah.
Gewalt.
So, I was amazed by how much material you had about being in Israel and the Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he didn't work this out before he got here, probably.
No, this is all. But here's the thing: I have I was supposed to study engineering, and I love structure and math and all this stuff. So I kind of applied to stand up. So I'm pretty structured with my material,
right?
Which I think I'm just using some of that German engineering and applied to jokes because I just went to Israel and I love different cultures. So I love touring internationally because there's a bigger cultural difference. Going to Israel is way more interesting than going to like Cincinnati, Ohio, culturally, right?
Yeah.
And
it's safer going to Israel. Cincinnati's
exactly
last week alone. Beat the hell out of some people.
Little like side note about this. Yeah. It is safer going to Israel for me personally because when I was in Cincinnati, Ohio, I was attacked by a vicious animal. Really? And most people think the most vicious animal is like a white shark or a brown bear. It is a Canada goose. I'm not kidding. Have you seen Canada geese?
Yeah.
I was walking down. I want to make everybody aware of this because it's really messed up. Because Canadian geese come to America and attack helpless Germans here. Okay.
Germans, they know
don't worry,
exactly.
You're German.
Trump's going to keep them out.
I was going to say, America's for American geese, okay? These illegal immigrants are coming here. No, it's crazy. I walked down the street and this goose out of nowhere appeared. I did not provoke it. Wasn't aware of its presence in any kind of way. And it just attacked me. Yep. And I got scared and I have a groin injury. So I re-injured my, it's all true.
Really?
And I got scared.
Was it from the push-up groin?
Were you in the underwear when he attacked you, walking the streets? Is that why he saw? He goes, quack, 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 quack.
Exactly. It was also going for my crotch.
How did you get a groin
Is this
injury?
Harvey Goosestein over here?
Yeah. How do you let a goose near your groin? Say that 3 times. The goose near the groin, the goose near the groin.
Yeah. And and then I pulled my groin. I kind of went down because it hurt. Because I injured my groin a couple of months ago playing soccer.
Funny story.
And it's all true. It happened recently in Ohio on tour. And then a goose attacked me and I was like, oh no, I can't die like this.
Yeah.
I can't die in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah. Not like this. I thought I was going to die like a real American, in a stampede at Walmart during Black Friday.
What happened? Did the goose lay off? Or
I fled.
Yeah.
I what's it called, limp. I just like ran away from the goose, and I didn't go. I was supposed to go to Starbucks to get a tea in the morning because I was staying at a hotel and there's like one of these strip mall Starbucks places, and that's how little Americans walk because there was just a goose had taken over the Starbucks pathway, the walkway, and nobody cares.
When animals attack comedians, a whole new season.
Exactly.
I had it happen to me when I was I did a tour in South Africa. Not a goose, but a sea lion.
Well, that is scarier.
Bathing on the pier. I always thought like seals are cute and sweet. I didn't think. So I went up with my camera and I start like taking pictures close to his face because he's just like chilling in the sun on this pier. And I was like, oh, what a cute like little seal. And then he roared and now I know why they call it a lion. He had like fangs like a lion. And then he chased me down the pier.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. And I was like, oh my God, I was terrified.
Of course.
I'm like, whoa.
You should have tossed him one of those balls for him to roll on his nose, and it would have stopped him.
Somebody saw it, and they're like, my boy, I'm so glad to see you made it. I'm like, what do you mean? And it's like, he nearly got you. I'm like, what? He goes, they really attack people? He goes, all the time. You're very lucky. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I did not know about that one, yeah. But no, Cincinnati is dangerous, and then Israel was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
when were you there?
I was there 10 days before Iran happened.
So after October 7th.
I was there like a month and a half ago or so.
Oh wow!
Like 2 months ago, yeah.
Wow.
I was there like before our wedding. I was there in May, end of May.
Yeah.
And
did you get booked to go there?
I got booked to go there. Yeah. And I've always wanted to go to Israel. So my roommate in Berlin, is from Tel Aviv. So I had a plan to go there in 2020. We had everything booked, but then COVID happened, so we couldn't make it. And I've always wanted to go. I went to Burning Man a few times. My whole camp was Israelis, so I've always had a connection to that place. And then, of course, my wife's Jewish, so I've always wanted to go. But then, I got booked, and we did one show, okay? Because I did the European tour. I was like, oh, let me go to Tel Aviv, and they had offered me this gig, and I was like, oh, let's do one show, and it sold out in literally 2 days.
Wow.
So then I was like, okay, let's I'll do another show, and then we added another one. It sold out, and it's like we ended up doing 5 shows there.
Wow.
And
did they know you?
Did they know me?
Yeah, in Israel.
Well, the people, yeah. And I was not aware of my presence in Israel, but I think it's because I do have a Jewish wife. So it's like this interesting thing, because I never thought that a German would be popular in Israel. Just, I don't know if you guys
they love buffs, the cars.
Yeah.
Everything's a Mercedes there.
Did they do reparations? They gave Mercedes?
Yes. I think, did they give cars specifically?
I think so.
Thought just money and stuff?
I think buses. I think all the buses that are Mercedes came
okay.
They're Germany.
Okay, I just know a lot of Jewish people don't drive German cars.
Yeah.
Which I get, but...
When I was growing up...
We don't like German trains
that makes more sense.
When I was growing up, my parents refused to buy German or Japanese.
Or Japanese, right?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
After they bombed Pearl Harbor, my mother used to say, we gave them the steel, and they turned around and turned it into bombs.
Sure.
So they came from that generation. We're a lot different now, and we're pretty friendly with German now.
I think so. I think so, yeah. But also as a Jewish person, also it's tough now, because you can't buy Tesla either. Because I saw a Jewish family the other day, and I felt weird because I was wearing a Germany jerseys during the Euro Cup, and I was walking through a Jewish neighborhood, saw a family get into like their car, and I was like, oh no, I don't want them to feel weird about my German, national pride with the Germany jersey. And then they got into a Tesla. I was like, I'm good. This is fine. They don't care.
You have this Jewish wife. What's her name?
Vita.
Vita, right.
Horowitz, formerly, yeah.
Okay, so did she go to Israel with you?
She went with me, yeah.
Okay, so... how did she grow up? Reform? No religion?
No, very secular.
Very secular.
Yeah, secular. So her last name is Horowitz. So she's technically she's not even Jewish in a religious sense.
Right.
Because her mom is not Jewish.
Right.
Her dad's side of the family, they're all Jewish. Her mom is not. Her mom is like Norwegian European.
Okay.
And she grew up in Chicago. But if you look at the family, they're all lawyers. So it kind of tracks, right, in that sense. But yeah, that's what also a lot of my jokes are about, is that I had all this guilt, and I was like, "Oh, I'm dating a Jewish wife, or I'm dating a Jewish girl, so I can't, Yeah. So I was like, "Shabbat shalom," and then she was like, I was like,
was there any family worried that she's marrying a German?
I don't think so. Her family's always been great. There's been a few moments though that I felt a little awkward as a German around a lot of Jewish people.
When you wore the uniform?
Which is exactly on Halloween when I dressed up as an SS officer.
Who did that one?
It was a little weird in West Hollywood.
Somebody did that one. Prince Charles' kids, right?
Yes. The whole thing. Yep.
Not a good move.
No.
So did the Canadian Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Did he do blackface too or something?
I think he did it all.
He did all of it. Blackface and Nazi uniform. Let's go.
He was just dressing up as Santa's helper.
Oh my God.
So go back to that for 1 second. So he comes and punishes you?
He punishes you. Yeah, the helper punishes you. And that's just like German children's stories are always based around fear rather than...
So does the same father either dress up as Santa or dress up as the Santa helper and like come and punish the kid?
The same father?
Like,
that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen that because that'd be really funny.
So it's more of a... do the kids actually get punished? Like,
no.
Then how do they continue to believe in it?
That's a good question. There is a flaw in this, and I will further investigate and make sure.
There's like a lot of flaws in this. So why is he in blackface?
Because we're trying to have fun, okay? We're just trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's in blackface. I just think that it's a scary figure, and in the things that were written in whatever the 1600s, it was just a blackface person. Okay, so that's why it just historically had a black face, and then some people dress up as him, and that's
what was his name
problematic
again?
Notice. This feels like a fetish now. It's called Knecht Ruprecht.
There we go.
Yeah.
I forgot for a second.
Mark loves it.
I just love to hear that.
Every time he hears about Knecht Ruprecht.
So, you married this girl. There was a little, you said, from...
Well, there was one moment where I had dinner with some of her friends, and one of the parents... It was Thanksgiving, right? And one of the parents of her friends, they're also Jewish, okay? And I made small talk with them, and I'm always, friendly and stuff. And she was like, "Oh, I'm Jewish." I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, have you ever been to Germany?" And then she looked at me, and she goes, "No, because I've never forgiven the Germans for what they've done." And then I was just there, and I was like,
Did it get quiet?
And I just like it made Thanksgiving dinner so awkward, but not in a way where there's some family drama or family fighting. It was just like I was like, how am I supposed to, So there's always been this thing where we have so much knowledge about the Holocaust, but we never met Jewish people. Right. So we have this guilt, but we don't know. We're not used to seeing Jewish people at all. So we're very awkward around Jewish people.
Yeah.
So,
like all my friends, when we had a wedding recently, right? Yeah. My wife's Jewish family came, and a lot of my friends they hadn't interacted, and it's not by choice. It's just like we don't have a lot of Jewish people in Germany, obviously. So it's that was a bit awkward at first.
I wonder what happened to them.
Yeah, and I have a joke where I was like, I went to Cantor's Deli, and then when people would ask me like, hey. The waitress, she was very sweet. Her name was Ruth, and she would ask me, "Hey, I hear an accent. Where are you from?" And like, I didn't want her to know that I'm German, so I was like, "I'm from Italy, mamma mia!" That's where the name Mario comes in quite handy.
Yeah.
So one of the things when I was growing up, and you were born in '94.
Yeah.
Right. January 21st.
Jesus Lord, that's next
things.
level. Yes.
Yeah. So your parents were born. Was there 64, 60?
Yeah, 63 and 62. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So when I was growing up, they used to, you met somebody German, you go, where were your parents during the war? You know, that question that they would ask.
Sure.
Right? Did you ever get that type, like, it wouldn't have been your parents, but it would have been your grandparents?
Yeah, my grandparents. Yeah, I get that question all the time.
And what do you say?
Listen. My grandfather was a good man. Okay, he was a good father. I sound like Trump now. He was great. He was a great man. He was okay. Real talk.
I don't mean it as an attack.
No,
at all. Zero.
No.
In fact, I don't care if they were Nazis.
Yeah,
that has nothing to do with you.
Fun fact about that. Fun fact. My grandfather on my mom's side, he was a little younger, and he was in 1944. He was sent to war, and he was 15 years old at the time. Because that was when the war was pretty much lost, and then they just sent out. He was 16. I think he just turned 16. But yeah, he went through it. He went through like Hitler Youth.
Bastard.
And you see,
son of a bitch.
And it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting argument because I talk about this with some people. I feel
he
like
had no choice, right?
He had no choice, and that is. I'm not saying this to like excuse anything, but if you're born into this extreme brainwashing to the level where there is no social media, there is no other opinion. Every news outlet, every radio station, every movie, everything is pushing this ideology. And it does not even necessarily mean that you are inherently anti-Semitic. It's also, you go to war because you otherwise die. You will be killed, right? So on my dad's side, he's a little older. He went to Stalingrad, Soviet Union formerly, like Russia. Yeah. And was wounded by a grenade splinter, came back. And I was talking to my aunt about this, and she was saying that he found out about the Holocaust and the extent of that after the war. So it was not something that was
interesting
that all Germans were aware of. I don't think that is something that people would have celebrated as much. It's like the war, the expansion, maybe you can sell that more, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like that in itself was very fascinating to me, that they found out about it after the fact. Even other people in other countries, that nobody was aware of the extent of it,
right?
Until like years later. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think my parents grew up in the United States in New York. Mm-hmm. My father's parents grew up in New York, and I never had any relatives in the Holocaust. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that they knew the extent of it.
I don't hold anything against this generation of Germans. I really don't. But I do towards Polish people.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I really do. Because I feel like there's still... I've met so many Polish people that I feel like they're still anti-Semitic. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are. And I even had a situation at my old house that I rented, where these Polish people from Airbnb rented the house next to us, and they literally put speakers from the computer up to the window and blasted Hitler marching music at us and would yell curses at us and call us effing Jews and stuff.
Damn.
And they were like my age Polish people, because they saw me and wearing a yarmulke and stuff, and they were legit anti-Semites still. So,
Poland is considered some of our best friends now in Europe.
And then I think Polish, the official Polish thing is that they deny that any of it was their fault, and they're like, oh, we were just taken over and we didn't. But I think they were the most vicious towards Jews. So like, I don't feel like they've taken responsibility.
The Polish people and the Ukrainians were horrible.
So yeah,
But
because they
Poland
never
now
took,
has done a lot. I believe a lot of, they've changed.
you think so? I don't know. Like from what I've heard, they're like in denial. So I personally do hold some animosity towards Poland, but like I feel like Germany, they feel bad. Like I even feel bad for like this generation of Germans, like that they feel so bad because it's like they didn't do it.
Do they feel so bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just. I mean, I think it's important to be taught that in history class, but that's literally all we talk about in history class.
Really?
And
Like
so
what?
there's this. I mean, the Holocaust. We know everything, and it's so interesting that like we know everything about the discrimination against Jewish people starting in the 30s, right? But we don't know anything about like Jewish people culturally because we've never interacted with the culture. We've never had a Reuben sandwich. We've never had. But we know every single step of the history. It's so interesting that like
I feel like
dichotomy.
that's because Germans are very masochistic by nature. They're like not.
Yeah.
And then they're like let's just keep beating ourselves up about this forever.
Did you see Norm Macdonald's routine on Germany?
Mm-hmm.
He did it, I think, on the last Letterman show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's
iconic.
great.
I think he, the one where he's like, "I'm worried about the country of Germany. They attacked the world, and chose that they started the war and chose as their opponent the world.
The world.
Yeah,
And then he
that's
does
a
it
good one.
again. Then they did it again.
That's actually kind of crazy. Yeah, like
Yeah.
like what 20 years. That's
I love the way every word he chooses so perfectly. Like the country of Germany, like calling it the country of.
Yeah.
It's just a funny way to put it.
No, he's great.
The country of Germany. You know, just
yeah.
the inflections. Everything is so perfect about.
Yeah, no, he's
that.
great. But that's the number one thing people. The only thing I get annoyed with is that, of course, it's all people associate with Germany is the Second World War and the Holocaust and all that. Which I think Germany has other things we've done, but that's just like the biggest one, and obviously that's still in people's minds.
Yeah.
Like when you go to, but I feel it more when I go to London. When I go to England or something, a lot of times people they just go like Germany, and they'll just it's so crazy how like British people they'll joke about it so openly, and they'll do like the Nazi salute and stuff. And for me, joking about this now in my comedy routine it took so long because as a German we don't joke about this. Like we don't make jokes about Hitler.
Right. You're like
all.
actually not allowed to by law, right?
I think you can make jokes about it, but it's just seen as what you cannot do is like you cannot perform a Nazi salute or have a swastika portrayed or anything like that. Like what Kanye is doing, selling swastika t-shirts would not fly in Germany.
Right.
So, or selling Nazi memorabilia. I went to a flea market in San Diego and I saw you could buy Nazi memorabilia.
I used to sell it. I'm not kidding.
Oh, really?
When I was a kid.
Well, you're a Jew,
if
of course.
anybody's allowed to do it, then it's
Yeah.
you. You should be able to profit off of that.
When I was a kid, I'd go to yard sales in Long Island, and people had Nazi stuff, daggers, helmets, and stuff like that. I'd buy it and I'd flip it for make more money. And people in my community, the Jewish community, got mad at me. I got pulled aside by my friend who was a dentist, and he said, "I understand you're selling Nazi memorabilia." I said, "Yeah. I mean, isn't that the best thing we could do as Jews? Is make a little money off of this?" And he said, "What do you got?" So I said, "Right now I just have a SS helmet." He said, "I'll buy it so nobody else buys it."
Right.
So
I was at a flea market. I saw money.
I'll buy it so nobody else does, so it doesn't get in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
I
You
was
should look into that dentist.
I was in a flea market and they were selling German postcards from the war, like made in Germany, Hitler and the flags
Yeah.
and everything. By the way, tremendous flag business during the war.
I'm sure. Now it's dried up though.
Yeah.
Well, now the American flag, like in Iran, you can make $1 billion a day by selling American flags because they just burn every
They try
one
to
of
burn.
them.
Yeah.
You know, they burn 5,000 of them a day.
Right.
They get phone calls saying, "I need another 60,000 American flags by tomorrow."
Yeah.
But yeah, they had tremendous uniforms and flags and
Yeah, the fashion was on point back in the day. German fashion in the 40s was good.
supposedly Hitler was a fan of The Great Dictator by Chaplin. Had you ever see it?
Yeah, I didn't know he was a fan of that.
I heard they tried to stop Chaplin from making it.
Okay.
They said that you're not going to make this because it's going to cause a problem.
Mm-hmm.
We got enough problems already with Hitler, and we don't want to ruffle his feathers or whatever. And he made the movie, I think with his own money. I think United Artists eventually put it out. And supposedly Hitler got a copy of it and enjoyed watching it.
That's good. Look at that. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? He probably liked the fact that
You get a handwritten note from the Fuhrer.
Also, it's kind of crazy because when you hear these speeches, right, like Hitler's giving a speech, you always hear the part that's like, you know, like that kind of stuff. But there's a speech on, I think when he was, I think Churchill sent a list to Hitler saying, hey, could you please not attack these countries? And then Hitler, there's this, it's actually a funny clip where he's actually making a joke and pausing like a stand-up comedian, and he's in front of the Bundestagsversammlung. It's like the German whatever, you know, the government, and he is giving a speech. He was like, today we got a note from Churchill. He's saying we should not attack the following independent countries: Poland, Latvia, Greece, France, blah blah blah, all this thing. And then the people start laughing, and she starts going, and then he says Poland, and people start erupting in laughter. And it's like, that is so crazy. You don't, because he might have had a sense of humor, we just never saw it.
Right.
You know?
Did he speak English at all, you think?
Did he speak English?
I wonder.
I mean, I wonder.
Do you remember the movie that came out a couple of years ago, Downfall? Did you ever see this?
Yes.
Phenomenal.
I've not seen it, no.
Great movie. You got to see it. It's called Downfall.
Okay.
I think the guy won the Academy Award. And they did all these little parodies of Hitler in the... do you remember this? I'll show you after. I can't really explain it, but they would use Hitler's speech in there, and they would subtitle it with something he wasn't saying.
I saw those clips on YouTube.
Yeah, one after another.
Yeah.
But there was a scene in there. I went to see it's a very serious movie, and there was a scene in there. I laughed out loud, and everybody looked at me. So I think Eva Braun comes into the bunker with some little kids, and she says, "Say hello to your Uncle Hitler." Which made me laugh, not Uncle Adolf.
Yeah.
It's Uncle Hitler. And I laughed out loud in the theater. People go, what's this guy laughing about? Yeah. Funny here.
I don't think that, I personally don't think German people are any more inherently anti-Semitic than any other people.
I think now we're probably less so.
Yeah.
There's probably more Nazis in America now.
I think it can happen anywhere. It has happened all over the place. You see it, and it's like a virus, a mind virus, and it sweeps over an area, and everybody's sort of taking a turn at it. The Spanish, the French, everybody.
There is a belief by the Jews that around every 70 years somebody rises up to kill us.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, I talked a lot of,
and it's pretty true.
We've got Hamas now, you know. So
and it was only 90 years ago or 80 years ago. So let's talk about your comedy. I want to know about and your YouTube stuff and.
You're Hitlered out?
Yeah. No, but I want to make sure we get to,
For sure. Yeah.
And then we'll march out of the bus together and we'll have a good time. All right. So we'll do it right. Did you speak English? You came here when you were 18.
I first came here. I started modeling when I was 8. I started modeling when I was 19, but only in Europe.
Did you speak English?
I learned English in school.
Oh, so you spoke, German was your mother language?
Oh, yeah. German is my first language. Right. I learned English in school like every other German does. And then I always liked languages. And then I went to, I spent some time in New Zealand after
How many
high
languages
school.
you speak?
4.
Which ones?
Spanish, German, French, and English. French less, like, I mean, it's fine. I think I'd have to like practice it. Now I just do the accent, do, and, you know, make fun of them. But and then I had this modeling agent reach out to me. Then I came to New York, never lived there fully. And for 7 years of my life, from age, I guess, 20, 21, 22, till I was 27, 28, I didn't have a home, really. So I was on a contract with a modeling agency, right? So I would go to New York for 3 months during New York Fashion Week and lived in...
They put you up? They put you up, right?
They put you up in the worst model apartment. And it sounds glamorous. You think a model apartment, oh, that's cool. A bunch of hot people hanging out at a cool villa, like on America's Next Top Model. It's not at all like that. You're going to be in a bunk bed with, no joke, 7 dudes sharing a bathroom during New York Fashion Week. I was in Bushwick, New York, in Brooklyn.
Oh, that's where I lived.
And and maybe we're neighbors, but I'm sure you had a better living situation than me because it doesn't get much worse. What street were you on? I was near Prospect. I was in, I forget. I moved so much.
I was on DeVoe Street. I don't know if you remember DeVoe Street.
I don't remember. I was in Greenpoint for a while. I had a lot of different model apartments. Okay. I was in Greenpoint a long time.
They put you up in Brooklyn even though you worked in Manhattan?
Yeah. I never.
Cheaper.
I stayed one time. I stayed in a model apartment. The best one I had was on North 4th and Kent, which was in Williamsburg on the water. It was beautiful. Yeah. But again, it was a nice modern apartment, but it was like 8 dudes.
Yeah.
You know, four people in each room. So it was intense. But yeah, and then I came to America and then met my wife 5 years ago. Moved here to LA because of improv. I did improv at Second City.
Oh, me too.
And yeah, loved it. Went there. Was like, let me focus more on this improv stuff.
Did you do it on Hollywood Boulevard?
Yes.
Me too.
And then I moved to Hollywood Boulevard because I
Yeah.
thought that was going to be the cool place. That's like the glamorous place, Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, it's such a dumb.
And it's I have a joke where I say it's the only place where dogs are worried to step in human poop.
Yeah.
They just like walk around there. And yeah, moved there for comedy. And then 2 weeks later, the pandemic started.
And then they shut down
And then
Second
they
City.
shut it down, never opened it again. But silver lining, I met my wife around that time. And then a year
How'd you meet
later, I met her at a Christmas party. I had a former like a YouTube kind of management company. And they had a Christmas party. And then we met there. And
How
Started
great.
dating? Started dating right away?
not really, no. She thought I was gay.
So did I.
For a while. So yeah,
Yeah.
me too for a while, We all thought.
Me too.
And then
Are a lot of underwear models gay?
I don't think so. I think a lot of them are actually straight, but that you just didn't. You become more gay just by association, I think.
By
Because-
living with 8 guys in their underwear.
It just makes you a little gay, and there's the hottest guys that
Yeah.
it's hard to not be a little gay when that's the case.
Yeah.
No, but also you're in an industry that's run by gay men. So all my friends were gay. So culturally, I wouldn't say sexual in terms of sexuality, but like culturally,
Yeah.
for sure you adapt. And I became a little bit of quote unquote gay because I would hang out with a lot of gay guys, and I also love them. I think it was
Is
a
a
great.
little gay like a little pregnant?
Yeah, I guess. Listen, culturally gay, not sexually gay.
Okay, I got you. All right, we just want to work it out.
Like wearing Speedos kind of gay. But in America, everything is gay. The threshold is a
If I
little
was in a Speedo, I would not look gay. I got to be honest. I would not. I would look like a guy that made a big mistake.
I don't think you would be hit on too much, but to
And,
go back to your
and
earlier
you were now.
assessment.
Was it you were sexually harassed?
Oh yeah. Many of times.
by men or by women or
men,
both?
Only men.
Only
Only
men.
men.
Only.
Yeah,
Now,
only men.
why would that be? Why wouldn't women?
Well, I don't think women. I mean, not to say that this doesn't happen. Also, like that, women sexually assault or sexually harass people, but I think men are just hornier, right?
Yeah,
more
it's-
aggressive
and
anyway.
more aggressive. There's more testosterone, and also there's a bit more. It's very interesting as a man when you get sexually harassed by another man, especially when you're straight, you're less likely to talk about it because you
Yeah.
think it questions your. It makes you not straight anymore.
It happened to me. I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mark did it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and I scored. But we don't talk about that
Talking about
except here.
yeah.
Wow. So, so what did they do? They would, like, how does somebody harass you?
Oh, let me give you the rundown how it works, okay?
Because I want to know how to do it.
Exactly. I'm going to give you a step-by-step best practices, okay? No, it would start with something small, which I consider to be small because at some point it just becomes so normal. I would do an underwear photo shoot and I'd be like, hey, the photographer would say, hey, do you mind if I adjust your underwear a little bit? Because it's for a photo shoot. Sometimes you have to adjust
Sure.
the collar, the clothing,
Yeah.
pull it down so it looks
Sure.
good. So with underwear, it's a little weird because that's part of modeling with the photographer sometimes. Usually there's a stylist, but sometimes you do a photo shoot, especially for underwear, you do
Sure.
like test shoots and stuff like that. And then he was like, can I adjust your underwear? And then he would like deliberately adjust, not my underwear, but my package.
Yeah.
Let's move it a little bit to the left. Oh, never mind to the, and then one guy would literally would lengthen it, adjust it, put it down again, and then close it like a cashier at a supermarket. You
And this took like
Yeah.
40 minutes?
say that one more
This
time.
took like 40 minutes, the adjustment?
Exactly. Not quite exactly. So stuff like that would happen, and then I mean, it just becomes so normal.
When you
people-
auditioned for these jobs, did you have to show them what you had?
when I auditioned for these jobs, I didn't. So these sometimes, to be clear, sometimes these are not necessarily jobs because whenever I did jobs for a big brand, say like for what I work in New York, I work for like Banana Republic and Macy's and like all these brands like
Right.
Old Navy, whatever. They would never. Stuff like that would never happen.
Right.
Because those are like, first of all, they're more commercial brands. They're more corporate. They have more of a system in place. They have stylists. Very professional. Had never any issue with those
Right.
kind of brands, right? when I ever had issues was when you work with these high fashion photographers, like Bruce Weber, Mario Testino. Bruce Weber shoots for Abercrombie & Fitch. He's like very famous, and he was now also had so many allegations of people coming forward. One dude came. It's like with Weinstein. Like one dude came forward, and then like 100 other ones came forward too.
Yeah.
So that's what happened with these guys. Those guys were just like, you have this prestige of these big brands, and then you do something called a test shoot. So before you shoot with this big photographer for the campaign, he does a test shoot, which means, hey, we're going to take some photos, more for like a personal portfolio, also for Instagram. This was a thing when I was coming up in modeling, posting stuff on Instagram. So there's a bit of that mutual thing, and you just want to make connections with these big photographers because they can book you on these massive campaigns that then can make a lot of money. And also you get prestige and validation, all that stuff.
Right.
So you'd shoot with them, and they'd be like, hey, come over, we're going to do a couple test shoots, some underwear shoots in my hotel room. And then you go over to this hotel room, like on the Upper West Side or whatever, and then they would shoot you. And then that's when the stuff would happen. But it's just you and a photographer one-on-one. And the agents are often in on that stuff because they know how the industry works, right? So your agent will be like, it's a business, right? I'm not saying it's good, but it's just like they see it as a business. They're like, hey, if I put my client up and he shoots with Mario Testino, who's one of the biggest photographers, and, he's flirting with him a little bit, right? Maybe taking some nude photographs, even if you don't want to. It's kind of like you kind of have to play this game a little bit because the industry is run by gay men. So that's what happened a lot. And I think Me Too helped a lot, but it was more of the female perspective, which is also important. But the male perspective, I think, has just been kind of underrepresented. Even though it happens in modeling, I would make the argument that men are victims of sexual assault and harassment in modeling specifically, possibly more than women, because most big designers, photographers are gay, right? And
So you got sexually harassed basically out of the business?
I quit because of that. I also there's a couple of factors, right? I feel like I just experienced so much sexual harassment that it just turned me off the industry as a whole. But then also I always wanted to creatively express myself, so early on I started making YouTube videos where I felt like I was in control of the narrative. Because when you're a model, people think that you're the star. No, the clothing is the star. You're wearing the clothing to make the clothing look good. You're an accessory to the clothing.
Basically.
You're an accessory to the clothing. People think that the clothing's an accessory to you. No, it's the other way around. So you're on the bottom of the hierarchy in modeling. You have agents, photographers, casting directors, like designer. Everybody's above you. You just like the clothes hanger. So that dynamic was just not very fulfilling in the long term creatively. And then started making YouTube videos, and then I got into comedy. Felt like, I can really share my voice, my talents. Also, I would rather be validated for my intellect or comedic abilities, storytelling abilities, rather than
the way you look,
being hot.
Yeah. So I had heard that like female models, maybe you've heard this, or maybe they couldn't sleep. They had to sleep on their back because they couldn't press their face.
Yeah.
Because if there's a shoot in the morning, they're puffy and their faces, they get lines. Did you experience any of that stuff?
Well, no. In that case, I would say it's way worse to be a woman. Because women, I mean, when it comes to body image issues, and I had some because photographers will always tell me to lose weight. Because I was never like fat, but I was just like more, I guess, athletic. And when you do high fashion modeling, they don't want you muscular. They want you like very slim, heroin chic almost, right? For like brands like Prada, or like especially when you go to fashion weeks, like in Milan or London or Paris, they want super like slim. And my agent would always just look at me and be like, hey, you gotta slim down. And then I had a bit of I wouldn't say eating disorder, but I would just I was afraid to eat much.
Right.
And I was just not healthy. Yeah, exactly same. So we can relate on that. This is awesome.
Did you have to shave your chest?
I did not. I never had a lot of hair on my chest, and I wouldn't mind that. I think that's fine. The worst part is just when you have to really. Here's one thing I was worried about, which talking about the puffiness. The one thing I had a baby face when I was younger, and I had a gap between my teeth. So they wanted me for this high fashion stuff where you have to have this like sunken chin, very sharp angles, and I just looked like a bit of a baby. Because of my face, I had a bit more of a puffy face shape, I guess, when I was younger. And I was very insecure compared to other models, let me put it that way. So I was very insecure about that because you can't change that. I can work out as much as I want. I can be in shape and stuff, and I'm sort of like more in control of that. But you can't change the way. I mean, except if you do surgery, you can't change the way your face shape looks, I guess.
Right.
So I felt insecure about that. Your agents would always bring that up in a very blunt way. I can remember. It was my biggest insecurity. And I remember in Milan, I went to the, before Fashion Week, you have to be in your underwear again. And they look at you, and then they take photos of you in your underwear before you go to the castings, because they sent these digitals to the casting director so they can look at you in a natural light. And I remember he looked at me and he was like, Mario, your body look okay, but your face, you look like a chubby baby. And I was like, cool, I'm just gonna end my life right now. Oh, so I was very insecure about that. And then I would try to okay, maybe if I eat less or wake up earlier and I would run before casting, so I would get less puffiness in my face, stuff like that. It definitely affected me. And I was very happy when I could just leave that behind me, because I was just not healthy. I remember there was one big moment where I starved myself from Milan Fashion Week, and I lost a lot of weight. For context, I'm now 205 pounds or something. Then I was I had to convert to kilograms. So I was probably 175.
Wow, big difference.
So I was 30 pounds lighter.
And you're 6'3"?
I'm 6'3", yeah. So, and I did that, and I was very skinny, and then I had all these jobs during Milan Fashion Week and some options, and then my grandma passed away. So then I flew back for the funeral, so I missed all the Fashion Week shows. So I basically starved myself for nothing. And then I went to the funeral.
You looked good at that funeral, though. Boy.
I looked chiseled, dude. I looked chiseled. Grandma would have been proud of me.
Yeah.
But I was just in that moment, I was like, this is not worth it. This is the moment when I also started okay, I'm gonna quit this. Because my dad was my dad is never, he's very up, but even my family, some of them were looking at me, they're like, are you okay? Because you look a little just skinny and not so healthy, because I've always been a very healthy person, but it was just not, the pressure was just not worth it. And you don't make a lot of money.
How accurate is the movie Zoolander?
It's pretty accurate, actually.
Really?
I mean, models are, I will say this, I will protect models a little bit. Models are generally, at least the ones I've met, were not as dumb as people make it seem. I think I don't think I'm dumb, and I think I've met a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of conversations at model apartments. You'd be very surprised by, very deep conversations.
I'm sure.
I remember one guy's this Romanian guy. He would always read in the morning and write some poems and stuff. And he was very well read, and but again, there's also the typical F boy.
Yeah.
Male model.
Anybody can feel dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This whole thing with the sexual harassment, I felt it. Believe it or not, when I went to a Subway sandwich shop, I went to the counter and the lady says 6 or 12 inches. And I just said, really? Really? Do we have to go there? I just want a sandwich.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's also a wide span of options that she gave you.
Yeah. Wow.
That is true. That is true.
It's a
big difference. A big difference. So, you're a good-looking guy. Did your wife ever worry about you getting hit on? I mean, my wife worries about me, and I look like this. So if I looked like you, I don't know what would happen.
You look good. Do you have a strong face?
I do.
You have the,
I have a good face for radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say you look great for 90.
Thank you.
My wife, I don't think she's worried about that, because I'm just not at all a womanizer. I never was.
It's so good to hear.
Yeah, people think that, and I get why people think that, because I do look a little like a douche, I guess, but
cool. I'm not saying that.
No, cool, but also
we don't disagree with anything you say.
Exactly. Both of you guys are
even
just
when you
nodding.
said,
I get that. I get that.
You notice even when you said, because they don't think models are smart. We didn't say no, they are.
Okay.
We just listen to you.
Good. So I'm not a womanizer. I never have been. And this is gonna now sound a little douchey, but also maybe because I didn't have to, right? Because I was never I have friends who I have a friend who's very short, and he has to work really hard, right? And I had more of, and he has this scarcity mindset that he tries very hard to hit on women. I always this abundance mindset. I was like, oh, I could probably, if I wanted to, always have a girlfriend, but I was very focused on work, so I never did it, and I was never had this high of a drive to go out there.
Sense, yeah.
And I see this a lot with people. They're they're traditionally good looking, that actually are not as they're not the womanizers you expect them to be. Of course, there are examples, and but also I will be honest. There's also a component of sexual trauma from modeling.
Wow.
That made me a little scared of sexual experiences because of what I've experienced as a model.
Wow.
And I didn't realize that at the time, but later in life, I realized, I have a little bit of a weird relationship with sex because it's not something that is just effortless.
Right.
Are you writing a book? Because this could be an interesting book.
No, but I'm actually working on doing because I have comedic material about this, but it's very dark. So my hour that's very cultural and kind of silly, and it doesn't fit as well. But I'm gonna go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival next year and do an hour on that because there's a lot of comedy in tragedy, and it's very truthful. And I've always felt this need to share the male perspective on an issue like sexual harassment. There's a great show called Baby Reindeer. Have you guys seen it?
I've heard of it. It's about Edinburgh, right?
Baby Reindeer is by this guy Richard Gatt who wrote this. Is about a stalker, and he also explains
it's a TV show, right?
It's a TV show on Netflix, and it blew up because it was so visceral, so raw, and it was the male perspective on something you usually have women go through. So it was very new, and it was very inspiring to me to see that. And even before that, I was writing on my story. So it's definitely going to be something I'll focus on. But my first special is coming out next year. We're filming it in January, and it's going to be more cultural. And then after that, I think this is like the intro special.
Where's it going to be?
It's going to be at the Hayworth, at the Dynasty Typewriter.
But where's it going to be released?
Oh, we don't know yet. Possibly YouTube. I don't know. I'm not even a big fan of streamers because I feel like I grew up on YouTube. That's my first platform.
Yeah, and you got a lot of followers.
I think the reach is just actually possibly higher. If it was Netflix, for sure, but we'll see. We'll have some talks, and I'll just focus on the special.
I mean, I find what you're saying is relatable in that when I was a young comic, I came out to LA and I went to the Improv and I saw a comedian. I won't say who it is, but it was a famous comedian I was a fan of.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that he was gay, and it wouldn't have mattered to me, but he was like, I was like, hey, so nice to meet you. And he's like, sit down, have a drink. And I was like, so thrilled to be having a drink with this comic who I looked up to. And my little brother was there. And he's like, oh, the Improv bar is closing. Why don't you guys come with me to this other bar? And he's like, I want to talk to you about your career. I want to see like maybe how I can help you or whatever. And I was like, oh, cool. Wow, this is happening pretty well. Anyway, I went with him to this other bar, which turned out it was a gay bar. And he's having drinks and he kept like grabbing my thigh and this and that. And I'd be like, don't do that. Yeah. But I was like, okay, well, maybe he's just drunk and he's been a little, anyway, he was so drunk. He's like, I can't drive home. Can you drive me home? So I said to my brother, is it okay if we drive him home? And he said, sure. I don't want him to drive home drunk. So we drove him home. He's like, I can't get up the steps. Can you help me up the steps? So I helped him up the steps. He's like, you want to see my place for a second? I got some really cool stuff here I want to show you. I'm like, okay. So he's showing me around his place. And I'm like, all right, well, nice meeting you. And I try to leave. And he grabbed onto me and fell onto the floor, held my leg, and he would basically try to rape me. I had to remove him physically from myself and escape and run out of there.
And that's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met. But but it was because I've never talked about it.
I should have come in earlier with it.
I've never talked about it. First of all, I don't want to get that person in trouble. I mean, he apologized and whatever.
Okay.
But
still, I mean,
but also for the reasons that you said, it's like a little emasculating to tell that story. And there's like this part of me that's like, I don't need to share that.
Sure, because you think it's not valid.
And then people say, oh, well, you were asking for it or something like that.
100%,
you know, like
100%.
So,
and that's always the problematic dynamic is especially if there's a power dynamic.
Yeah,
it seems like there was the same thing with you.
Right.
Because what happened with me is like, you have a power dynamic where there's a photographer who can get you further in your career, so you don't want to like blow them off.
Right, exactly.
It's like you toe that line, then also you don't say no, but that's like a lot of them know that. And that's what makes me furious about this whole thing is especially when it's younger guys that are starting their career, whichever field it's in, right? Same with acting and Weinstein, all that stuff. But modeling too, right? When you have a young guy who just moved from North Dakota and moves to New York City, it's like 18, 19 years old, doesn't know anything, and then they manipulate you with that power they have. I think that's very problematic. They know what they're doing, and it's messed up. But thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. I mean, just because you brought this up, and it is an interesting thing for people. I'm sure that you and I are not the only ones who have gone through this. So
I had a gay roommate in New York.
Yeah, that was on purpose, wasn't it?
Yeah. There were three of us, and I had a gay roommate, and the guy was the nicest guy in the world. He would do anything for me. I mean, he would bend over backwards for me.
I got plenty of friends who are gay comedians. I don't.
That was a joke I wrote in 1987, by the way. But
I know quite a few gay comedians who are very upstanding people and wonderful.
Incredible.
And
100%. It's not
I don't want to paint a certain picture of.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said this because when I made a video on YouTube, I have a video where I actually talk about this, where I talk about it for the first time, and I share a full story of what happened with the sexual assault, graphically. Yeah. I didn't full go into detail, but I would just share it, even saying it out loud. I got emotional when I talked, even on camera. I just said it out loud.
Yeah.
And the video was overwhelming. How many men messaged me, commented, and messaged me privately, saying that something similar happened to them and they never felt like the permission to even acknowledge it as said thing, as sexual assault, because they thought that only women could experience that. So it was quite powerful. So
it is traumatic. It's very traumatic.
Did you do a video about circumcision?
Yes, that too. Yeah,
you did one, right?
I did one too. Yeah,
I know.
I got circumcised when I was 19 also.
Right, you said that's right. When you were 19,
that was my next hit.
Was it a full circumcision? Was just a drop of blood? I mean, how did this work?
No, it was a full one. I don't do half.
He doesn't have to do anything.
So they took the whole flap off?
They hold the full flap. Yep. It was.
What made you do that?
I mean, it's a little complicated. So the girl was my best friend in school. She was like, we're not dating, but she was a friend, and she would always tease me that in her culture, she's Turkish. She would always be like, oh, if you wanted to marry me, you have to get circumcised. And I then actually thought about it, not because I was gonna marry her, but I just thought, okay, why not? And then I looked into the benefits, and it's it's more clean. It makes you last longer in bed. It's more aerodynamic. Okay, so
I haven't had any of those things happen to me, by the way.
Well, you don't know the difference, maybe. I looked into it. And I was a little insecure about maybe finishing too fast. So then I did it. I looked up a urologist. I was like, "What's up, bro? Can we?"
That's crazy that you did that.
So what did they? You called the urologist and you said you want to have this done.
Circumcision. Yeah.
Were they surprised? Does this happen a lot?
It doesn't happen a lot in Germany because it's Germans usually don't get circumcised unless it's a religious reasons. Mostly if you're Muslim, because again, not many Jewish people in Germany, or if you have somewhat of a medical necessity. Sometimes you have a thing called where it's too tight and it can be painful, so then you get a circumcision to relieve that pain.
So he's like, I've never done it before, but
exactly,
I want to give it a try.
I want to give it a try. And then I did it, and it's just it was a medical procedure, just almost like they treated, it's not covered by insurance, by the way, because it's just a medical procedure that's just...
You probably had 20 nurses in there watching the operation.
Yes.
Wow, I was just joking. But
no, that's 1,000% what happened. So I'm laying down there. They put 2 injections into my. I don't know.
You're awake during it?
Into my womb. I don't know what it's called. In between here, my legs.
Yeah.
And they numb you locally.
There he goes pointing again. We don't know the area.
Yeah.
But it's And then they put the injections in, and then it numbs you locally, and then you're awake during it. And there was the urologist and 3 female nurse assistants. And one of them was doing an internship at the urologist, and she went to the same high school that I went to.
Oh.
And they were all watching, and in that state,
do you watch or you're lying down? They got a curtain up, you don't see it.
Yeah, they have a little. I don't know if it was a curtain. It was they had a little thing.
See, when a woman has a C-section,
and also the angle, there's not much. It's not looking good. It's hiding.
So when when they do it on a Jewish baby, it takes about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
How long for you?
And my thing looked like a Jewish baby's thing too. It was probably the same size.
No, but how long did the operation take?
Probably in my mind forever, but probably realistically 15 minutes, maybe 20. What they would do, I should have
had a rabbi do it.
I did. I should have. While you're at it, just find one.
Rabbi works for tips.
Good luck. Coming with the puns, I love it. No, but they just did, and it didn't hurt. But sometimes they would use a laser to close up. I forgot what it's called, to close up the blood endings, the vessels. And there was one moment when it went to the tip, and I just felt the pain. It came from the universe into the tip, into my brain, back into it was the craziest pain I've ever experienced. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
What was the first question you asked the doctor after they did it?
What I asked him, I was like, "Did y'all find it? Was it
go back?"
Exactly.
You see, I would think you would say something like, "When can I start?"
Oh yeah. No, we talked about
having
that.
Sex again.
Good question. 2 weeks is the question.
That's
it's depending on your healing, but I always heal pretty quickly. Whenever I do my circumcision, so it's 2 weeks.
Does this make me any less or more safe around geese?
Exactly. That's the thing.
There was a story about, Muslims get it done later. The Jews get it done around the 8th day.
Exactly. I think it's 8 years or something in Muslim
culture. I'm not exactly sure, but it's a couple of years. And there was a story about this Muslim kid who was friends with this Jewish kid. And he said to him, I'm getting circumcised. Was it painful? He said to the Jewish kid. And the Jewish kid said, I didn't walk for a year.
That's good.
That's good.
That's a good joke.
Yeah.
That's good. That's all. I like it. Yeah.
So, when did you decide that, hey, I think I'm funny and I want to go do Second City? Like, was that something that had been...
Yeah, I just made YouTube videos and I've always had that impulse. Like when I did modeling, I was just so serious and you had to be so stoic and play this role of like a serious, cool male model. But I was like, I don't like this at all. F that. I don't identify with that. And at some point I was just like, I went into a casting room and I was like, it's me, Mario. And I was making jokes with people. And I felt like much more authentic and I felt more connected to modeling even because I did a lot of castings and I at least had fun with it. And I did like that aspect of it. And then with making YouTube videos, I just felt like, okay, now the humor I've been suppressing as a model to fit in this industry, I can now express when I make YouTube videos. So I made very silly YouTube videos about modeling, vlogging, going to casting, Zoolander. Hey, go give me a blue steel. Oh, yeah. And then I learned that I just, I took acting classes when I was modeling because I did some like commercial auditions. And then through that, I went down a path of like method acting and more serious, almost like Stella Adler, kind of, very serious emotional acting work. And they also had an improv class. And when I did improv, I loved it. That was the thing I loved the most.
I couldn't be any more different than modeling. Second City is just silly, ridiculous,
100%.
Like uninhibited.
Exactly.
I loved Second City, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. I've done some other ones, but that was my favorite. Yeah.
When you were modeling, were you inked up?
Yeah, and that was a bit of an issue. I mean, I got this when I was 18 or 19 in New Zealand. And some clients don't like it. Sometimes they had to cover it with a spray.
Yeah.
To cover up the tattoo.
There were probably less tattoos when you were modeling.
I had less tattoos when I was modeling.
I mean, most people did.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Unless you're like the type of like a, edgy biker guy. Now it's kind of changing with some more streetwear urban brands that embrace that. But especially I could never model in Japan, for example.
Wow.
I did a lot of modeling in Asia. I went to Singapore, Korea, I did some drops in Thailand, Malaysia, all over.
You've really seen the whole world.
And that's my favorite thing about modeling. I always talk about modeling, I talk about like the traumatic experiences, but truly, I'm very grateful for modeling because it got me to travel the world. And I started YouTube because of it. I got my green card because of modeling, got into stand-up, came to the US because of modeling. So really, I'm very grateful for it in hindsight. And I got to see the whole world. I mean, truly.
What are the best countries you've ever been to?
For modeling?
No, just in general that you were like, wow, this is amazing. This country's beautiful. This country's incredible.
Okay, good point. I love the Philippines.
Okay.
The people are so kind. I think Filipinos are some of the nicest people, genuinely. And it's not a fake niceness like sometimes here in LA.
Right.
I think Filipinos are so sweet. Love my time there. And then what's interesting, I love Australia. Australia's cool too. It's just so far away. Again, I think the coolest country. I'd say Philippines was my favorite.
You've been to Iceland?
I have been to Iceland, yeah.
Great, beautiful,
yeah.
right?
Beautiful, yeah. In a different way. I mean, it's very, right, like
You
just
guys
beautiful
have both
nature.
You've both been all over the world, actually. Yeah.
In terms of nature, not like beauty in terms of nature, I would say New Zealand is probably the top country I've been to, just because of the diversity. Because you can drive an hour on the South Island, and you go from a beautiful cliff with whales and whale watching. In an hour, you're all of a sudden in the middle of where Lord of the Rings was filmed in Mordor.
Wow.
And there's a volcano with like a lake that is purple because of the sulfur, and there's a geyser shooting up, and then you go an hour south and all of a sudden you're in a glacier. It's just insane how much biodiversity there is in a small country.
I've been blessed too. I saw the world through my comedy.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Incredible. I mean, I think we're there, but this was, I could, if we had the time, I could do another,
of course,
many hours.
I mean, I'm happy to come back.
Thank you. We're going to have you.
We would have you back.
This was really great. It was great to have you, and your honesty and your openness about everything, and you're a genuine guy.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So tell us where they can find you.
MarioAdrion.com. It's Mario, like Super Mario, ADRION.com. All my tour dates are on there. I'm going to Syracuse, New York. Hell yeah. Always wanted to go.
It's almost as beautiful as New Zealand, I hear.
Exactly.
I've been to Syracuse a lot. You're going to like it. It's a good comedy city.
Okay, good.
Mark, what do you got coming up?
So I go, by the time this is on, it'll be over, but I meet Mr. Seinfeld in Bangor, Maine this week. We're going to do Bangor, Maine. We're going to do New Hampshire, Connecticut, and then I go into New York to see my family, my son, daughter-in-law, and little baby Stella. And I got my book, Why Not? Lessons on Comedy, Courage, and Chutzpah. I wrote a book. If I had a copy, I would give it to you. Maybe I'll try to send it to you. It's called I Killed, which is 200 road stories of comedians.
Oh, that's
cool. And it
cool.
became a Bible of road stories, a Bible for young comedians who are starting out.
I love that.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
We'll try to get you a copy.
Yeah.
And that's the deal. And I'm going to a ball game tonight with my wife.
Bangor, Maine, isn't that from the Dean Martin song? Destination
Bangor, Maine. Yes.
Yeah.
A rare, yes.
Right?
A rare Dean Martin song. Yeah. Yeah.
Trailer for Sailor Rent.
That was not, Dean Martin sang it.
Yeah.
But it was originally sang by, I can't remember his name now, Trailers for Sale Rent, Rooms to Rent, 50 cents. No phone, no booze, no pets, ain't got no cigarettes.
I smoke four
For stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man of means by no means. King of the road. I know every single engineer on every train. All his children and all of their names. And every single handout in every town. And every door that ain't locked when no one's around. I think beautiful.
Yeah. Bangor, Maine. Bangor, Maine. It's the only time I've ever heard of Bangor, Maine. It's from that song.
Roger something did that song first. Roger.
I don't know that one, but I know the Dean Martin one because I'm a big
Would you like
Dean
to sing
fan.
us out? You want to sing a little song? What do you got, Chris? Go ahead.
Im Frühtau zu Berge wird ziehen Fallera, es tönen die Grünen und Höhenfallera. Wer wollte aber singen, wenn wir schon grün fingen in dieser herrlichen Lebenszeit? Knecht Ruprecht.
All right. And
my mother used to sing that to me every night before I went to sleep. It was unbelievable.
Same, and I didn't sleep ever. Yeah.
So, guys, please take a minute, go to Amazon, and check out my special, Reconquistador. It is available for sale or rent. Thanks for tuning in. We think it's funny. We hope you did as well. And we'll see you next time with another episode. Bye-bye, everybody. Subscribe on YouTube. So long.